Hello and welcome to another episode of Cam Talks Games. I'm Cam, and today I'll be kicking off 2025 by discussing my favorite ports on the PlayStation Vita. So stick around, we have a lot of games to cover. The PlayStation Vita was such an amazing handheld console, and it's such a shame that Sony didn't support the system for very long. Today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite ports that have been released for the PlayStation Vita by the modding community after the death of the PlayStation Vita. Here are some of my top picks.
PlayStation Vita!
First up is one of my all-time favorite video games, Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 was released on September 29th, 1996, as a launch title for the Nintendo 64. Developed by Nintendo, it marked a groundbreaking shift in gaming by transitioning the beloved Mario series from 2D side-scrolling to a fully 3D experience. The game introduced players to Princess Peach's castle, a sprawling 3D hub world with various rooms and secret areas. With its innovative use of 3D platforming, precise control mechanics, Super Mario 64 set a new standard for both platformers and 3D gaming in general, influencing countless games that followed. Its success helped solidify the Nintendo 64 as a key player in the fifth generation of video game consoles. The game performs perfectly on the PlayStation Vita. There are mod options available for this port, however I've chosen to stick with the vanilla version of the game besides one single mod, which is the analog camera fix. This allows the camera to move with 100% freedom and isn't as locked as the original camera that launched with the game. This really makes it so much easier to look around when playing the game, and now that I've experienced the game with this camera option, I really can't go back to the original's clunky camera angles. This, in my opinion, is the definitive way to play Mario 64 in 2025. Next up, we have the port of GTA San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was released on October 26, 2004 for the PlayStation 2, marking a significant milestone in the Grand Theft Auto series. Developed by Rockstar North, the game expanded on the open-world formula established in GTA 3 and Vice City by offering a vast, immersive map that spanned three fictional cities, Los Santos, San Fierro, and Las Venturas, loosely based on Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas, respectively. Set in the early 1990s, players take on the role of Carl C.J. Johnson, returning to his home city of Los Santos after the murder of his mother. The game introduced a wide range of gameplay features, including character customization, gang warfare, and a dynamic, evolving storyline that tackled themes of family, betrayal, and street life. San Andreas was critically acclaimed for its deep narrative, expansive world, and the freedom it offers players, becoming one of the best-selling video games of all time. Its release cemented Rockstar Games' reputation as a leader in the open-world genre. The game runs great on Vita, although not perfect, but it is fully playable and I've yet to run into any game-breaking bugs. It's a shame this game never officially received a PlayStation Vita port, but thankfully, the modding community didn't accept this and put in the work to make San Andreas on PlayStation Vita a reality. Next up, we have the port of Max Payne from Android. Max Payne was released on July 23, 2001 for Microsoft Windows and quickly became a landmark title in the third-person shooter genre. Developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by Gathering of Developers, the game introduced players to a dark, noir-inspired narrative following Max Payne, a former NYPD detective turned vigilante, as he seeks revenge for the brutal murder of his family. The game is renowned for its innovative bullet time mechanic, which allowed players to slow down time during combat, offering a unique cinematic experience and strategic advantage. With its gritty storyline, atmospheric setting, and groundbreaking gameplay features, Max Payne received critical acclaim and became a commercial success, influencing future action games and leading to sequels in the series. Its combination of storytelling, action, and visuals helped solidify it as one of the defining titles of early 2000s gaming. This is a great port of Max Payne, and I've had a ton of fun jumping back into this classic. The game looks great on PlayStation Vita and is well optimized with very smooth frame rates and animations. The loading times on this game are pretty rough, especially when launching the game, but that's to be expected. This is one of my all-time favorite Remedy games, and this port is a great way to replay the game, at least until Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes launch on modern consoles in the next few years. Next is the port of The Simpsons Hit and Run. The Simpsons Hit and Run was released on September 26, 2003 for multiple platforms, including the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. Developed by Radical Entertainment and published by Vivendi Universal Games, the game was a free-roaming action-adventure title set in the iconic world of The Simpsons. Drawing heavy inspiration from the Grand Theft Auto series, Hit and Run allowed players to control various members of the Simpsons family and other characters from the show as they navigated Springfield, completing missions, driving vehicles, and uncovering a mysterious conspiracy involving alien robots. The game's humorous narrative, which stayed true to the show's satirical tone, along with its engaging open-world gameplay, earned it positive reviews from both fans and critics. It is often remembered fondly as one of the standout licensed games of its era, blending familiar Simpsons humor with fun, action-packed gameplay, and remains a nostalgic favorite among fans of the series. This is such an amazing port, and I can't believe this game runs so perfectly on the Vita. The loading time on launch is pretty lengthy, but once you're in the game, it gets much smoother. This game is a blast on the Vita, and is a perfect fit for the hardware. Again, it's wild to me that this game never received an official port, as it would have sold quite well and given players more incentive to invest in the Vita as a platform. The Vita was seriously underserved by Sony, and ports like this only prove the lost potential of the Vita even more. At the end of the day, though, it's just nice to have this game playable on the system, even if it's not an official release. Now to one of the more unbelievable ports, Cuphead. Cuphead was released on September 29, 2017 after a lengthy development process that began in 2010. Developed by Studio MDHR, the game quickly garnered attention for its unique art style, which mimicked the hand-drawn 1930s cartoon animation, heavily inspired by the works of animators like Max Fleischer and Walt Disney. Set in a fantastical world where players control Cuphead and his brother Mugman, the game features challenging, fast-paced boss battles and side-scrolling platforming levels. The game's difficulty, combined with its stunning visual design and jazz-infused soundtrack, made Cuphead stand out in the indie game scene. It was lauded for its artistic ambition, tight controls, and old-school challenge, earning numerous awards and critical acclaim. Cuphead quickly became a commercial success and a cultural phenomenon, with its distinct look and unforgiving gameplay inspiring a dedicated fan base. In 2020, a DLC expansion titled The Delicious Last Course was released, further expanding the world and continuing the game's legacy. Cuphead is one of my all-time favorite games to play on Switch, so I was excited to see that the game had been ported to PlayStation Vita. This is the latest version of the port that I'm playing, released on October 10th, 2024, so development on this port is still active. The game runs relatively well given the complex nature of the graphical style and the gameplay elements. The run and gun levels are rather slow, and I wouldn't say they're playable yet, even when overclocking the Vita. And some bosses suffer from very compressed textures, no doubt a concession made to allow the game to run on the Vita. It's certainly playable in a lot of ways, but with development still active, bug fixes and improvements are bound to be released soon, hopefully making this game fully playable on the PlayStation Vita. Next up is a PC RPG classic, Fallout 2.
War never changes.
Fallout 2 was released on September 30th, 1998, as the highly anticipated sequel to the critically acclaimed Fallout. Developed by Black Isle Studios and published by Interplay Entertainment, the game expanded on the post-apocalyptic world established in the original Fallout, offering a larger, more detailed open world set in the ruins of the United States after a nuclear war. Players assume the role of the Chosen One, a descendant of the original game's protagonist, on a quest to save their village from a mysterious threat. Fallout 2 retained the series' signature isometric view, turn-based combat, and deep role-playing elements, while introducing new features like a more complex dialogue system, greater character customization, and an expanded inventory. The game was praised for its expansive world, dark humor, and freedom of choice, allowing players to tackle quests in multiple ways, whether through combat, diplomacy, or stealth. While Fallout 2 faced some criticism for its technical issues at launch, it has since become regarded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time, cementing the Fallout franchise as a cornerstone of the RPG genre. I'm very early in this game, but so far everything seems to work perfectly. The combat works nicely, though I'm more of a Fallout New Vegas guy myself. I can still appreciate the very different gameplay of the original Fallout games. The only gripe with this port is that the text is very hard to read on the small screen, but it's still a fun way to revisit this classic game that started Fallout's popularity with RPG fans. Last but not least, we have Super Monkey Ball 2 Sakura Edition. Super Monkey Ball 2 Sakura Edition was released in Japan on April 29, 2003 as a special edition of the popular Super Monkey Ball 2, which had launched worldwide in 2002. Developed by Sega and released exclusively for the Nintendo GameCube, Sakura Edition was designed to celebrate the spring season and featured a unique Japan-only theme with cherry blossom visuals and a reworked soundtrack that reflected the serene atmosphere of the season. Like its predecessor, the game featured the core gameplay of a rolling monkey encased in a transparent ball through various obstacle-filled stages. But Sakura Edition added extra content, including new levels and minigames that were tailored for the Japanese audience. The game received positive reviews for its fun, challenging puzzle platforming mechanics and its vibrant, festive visuals, set it apart as a collector's item for fans of the Super Monkey Ball series. While it remained a regional release, Sakura Edition contributed to the ongoing popularity of the franchise, which would later see sequels and adaptations on multiple platforms. I love me some Super Monkey Ball, and especially the second game. This is the port of the Android version of Super Monkey Ball 2 Sakura Edition, which I've never played until getting my hands on this port. The game runs perfectly and is already so addicting, as any good Super Monkey Ball game should be. This port also gives players the options to choose from traditional analog stick controls instead of the built-in gyroscope controls that were featured in the Android version. The Vita is the perfect platform for games just like this. And if you're a fan of Super Monkey Ball or Japanese arcade games, you should definitely check out this port. And that's a wrap for my top PlayStation Vita ports in 2025. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Cam Talks Games. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video for more content just like it. Thanks so much.